Wrestling POV content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to modern audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised. Wrestling POV's content may not be suitable to some audiences. Your discretion is advised.
Wrestling fans, do not fret, do not be afraid. It is your lucky day because today, WPOV Global. I'm your host, the legend T. James Logan, and with me, my sometimes can cheat, sometimes can be honest, always though the gentleman, Elio Canella. Elio, say hi to the five people.
What's going on, listeners?
Now, you know what? What was that whole cheat thing about? Well, do you know what?
Yeah, what's that whole cheat thing about?
Well, let me explain. Can you tell that I'm in a kind of a happier mood today? That I'm a little bit more, I don't know.
I see this. You're quite cheery.
I am quite cheery. Do you know why?
Why?
I'll give you a hint. It involves a certain pay-per-view points game ran by WPOV, one that you cheated very badly a couple months ago with that stupid sock puppet, Miguel.
Could be the Money in the Bank PPV that took place on Sunday.
And you know what? I beat you, buddy. I beat you. And it wasn't just this wasn't just like a little slap on the hand. I beat you like a red-headed stepchild with his hands in the cookie jar, buddy.
Oh, no.
And you know what? You're not the only one to take a beating, because there was another guy walking around calling himself the big dog. You know what? Tony Diaz on his show proclaimed, I'm going to be number one this time. I'm going to win the points game. You know what? You weren't even in the top 30, Tony. I kicked your butt.
I'm happy to report I'm not a complete turd this time, but I feel better knowing he was just two numbers above me. That makes me feel a little better.
So let me get this straight. You're okay that you were still beat by Tony Diaz?
But why I feel a little better because I'm not a complete turd.
That is true. Folks, this is what happens when you don't cheat with the puppet. You don't win. Well, you know what? I didn't need that stinking puppet. I still made... Okay, you know what? Maybe I didn't make it number one. Okay, albeit I never made number 10 or 20 either. But you know what? I did better than Elio and Tony, so that's okay in my books.
Yeah, all right.
Anyhow, you know what? All joking aside, man, we you know what? Elio, we get to put on the big boy pants today.
Yes, we have our own game that we're going to be running today.
That's right. We get to do our own points, pay-per-view points game, all about AEW, which is, well, there's going to be some interesting names and picks on this one for sure. And I'm going to say...
I looked at the card. There's some pretty interesting matchups.
Well, you know what? The winner is going to get a $50 Amazon gift card. Looking at some of these matchups... Tony, I watch a lot of wrestling. Sorry, Elio. My God, I got my defeat of Tony on my mind. Elio, you know I watch a lot of wrestling. You know that. I don't recognize some of these people on this card, and even I'm going, huh? Who the hell is this? But you know what?
Neither do I.
So it's going to be a bit of roulette, people, when we go to our picks. Some of them are going to go, yeah, I guess you'll do okay. Oh, man. So anyways, you know what? It's been a better week. I am finished being sick. I feel much better. Hey, you know what I did a couple days after the last show we had? I got on the phone, and I got to talk to Lucha Underground wrestler Ricky Mandel. I have a 40-minute interview with him. I am going to set it up. We're going to do it next week. You know what, folks? I went in with this idea. I didn't really know who Ricky Mandel was. I never got to talk to him before this interview. I've seen him wrestle. You never can tell a guy's by his character. You don't know. I sat down and I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe try and stretch out, 15, 20 minutes out of this guy, get to talk a bit about Lucha Underground. No way, man. This guy was cool. I mean,
wow.
I 40 minutes, and it was awesome. I looked at the time, and I was like, holy crap, I could talk to this guy for a lot longer. Guy has a really good mind for wrestling, really creative. Of course, I had to ask the hard questions about Lucha Underground, and of course, he could not answer them because, as he said, that's way above his pay grade. He's hoping there is more, but he has no idea himself, folks. But you know what?
I don't think anyone knows what's going on with Lucha Underground.
No, I don't know. But it was fun talking to him about the whole process, and there's some really cool things on that. Did you get a chance? I know I sent a copy to you ahead of time. Did you get a chance to listen to it, Elio?
Oh, I didn't get a chance to listen. I'm gonna have to go and check if it showed up in the box.
Oh, okay, well, you know what? You're gonna like it. It was really fun. Wrestling fans, like I said, I was really really stoked to talk to him, and he gave us the invitation. He said, "Hey, let's check in with each other, months down the line as things get going again, and hopefully we'll be able to talk as Ricky Mandel does even more on the independent circuit all across the U.S." So, folks, that'll be next week. We'll talk with Ricky Mandel. I am chasing Marty the Moth, and I know it sounds funny because he's a moth, but I am chasing Marty the Moth down. I'm going to get an interview with him. The timing hasn't been. He's been there, and I've been the one sick, and I've been the one not being able to do it. But now I'm ready. I got the big boy pants on because of this whole AEW thing, and we're gonna hunt him down. We're gonna get an interview with that guy too because he's a pretty interesting character, I gotta say.
Yes, he's a very interesting character.
Well, you know what? I'd like to take this time now to switch. Well, hey, for a sec, do you have anything you want to talk about before we go on to news? Is anything in the week that stuck in you?
No, just regular week. I got to see the day 1, day 2. I lost track of the Super Junior after day 2, and then everything else just my regular usual routine.
Well, you know what? I kept with the Super Juniors. We're up to day 6 already. I watched all the matches. We'll talk a little bit about them in our segment about New Japan today. There are some guys who are definitely looking at as clear-cut possible winners in this thing. We're going to go over that.
Okay.
We're going to do the news first. Then we're going to go into AEW because we got to talk about it. If we're going to have a POV points game, we're going to have to go over the card. And me and Elio just discussed for 1 minute before we went on air what we're going to do about this. We're going to talk a bit about some of the matches. We're going to say where we lean. We're not going to really tell what our actual picks are going to be, and we're definitely not going to tell you the bidding that we're going to do on this stuff. Whoa, sorry. Some leftover cough from last week. But anyways, let's get into the news. Now, there is...
Okay.
This week, I have a lot of news coming out of Impact. And right now... Impact is quite the interesting place. That's all I'm going to say half the time, okay? It seems we talked last week about Killer Cross wanting to break his contract and Impact saying no.
Yep.
And if you remember last week, and folks, I did not know this at all, but last week I had a conjecture. I was asking, well, what is Scarlett Bordeaux? Like, I know, like she's with Killer Cross. Is she happy where she is? And apparently not, because this week she asked for her release too.
Yep.
So nothing has been confirmed about that yet, but she is definitely not that happy. My old friend Gurasinder Singh finally officially released by the company. He asked for a release like a month ago. And it just kind of like floated out there. We didn't get to see him very much, but now he's a free agent and he'll be floating out there. And then this one blows me away, Elio. It appears that all this for the last couple months, Jordynne Grace had not been signed to Impact.
Wow.
Despite
that's so weird.
She's had title shots. She's been in prominent matches. She's been in storylines, and she wasn't even signed to the company.
Wow.
So apparently, I guess somebody realized this, and finally, as of a couple days ago, Jordynne Grace has finally signed a contract with Impact Wrestling. So that's good to see for Impact, because definitely she is a talent that she's amazing. I've talked about her before. We had an interview with her that was really great. I expect to see a lot out of Jordynne Grace, and definitely. It's nice to hear some really good news for Impact for a change instead of always having to report people leaving or people not happy.
Yeah.
It's nice to see somebody staying in and going there. Now, the other two parts of the news I want to talk about really quickly. First of all, dealing with MLW.
Oh, okay.
Now, MLW, we're going to talk about it on this week's Fusion TV. It's leading up to, on June 1st, that they're going to they're going to crown their first national championship.
That's their next big event, right?
Yeah, the Fury Road.
Fury Road. Someone must be a Mad Max fan.
You would think. Now, I just, the finals here just kind of makes me go, it's a new championship for MLW, and that's obvious that they want to, have this new belt. But the two guys that are in it, are these the best representatives of MLW itself?
Who are the two?
Well, the two finalists are going to be Alex Hammerstone and Brian Pillman Jr. Now,
whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yes. I saw that at the end of the ML Fusion.
Yeah, now
they had a promo with Hammerstone.
Now, I get that Hammerstone and the Legacy are involved in a feud with Pillman and the Hart Foundation, but, geez, this just seems like, for me, it's like these two guys are not the biggest guys. They're not the guys I would pick to represent the national championship if you're a new belt. You know what I mean? And maybe it's just me, and this is nothing against these two guys, but I mean, Hammerstone is fairly new. Brian Pillman is probably the third most talented guy in his 3-man crew. So,
right.
You know what I mean? So it's just odd that in my books that these two guys, one of them is going to be the first national champion.
Wow.
So we'll see where that goes. Now, I want to throw some news that goes way back to the 1990s. Are you ready for this one, man? A name you probably haven't heard for a while. But heading to Toronto this June, on June 1st, Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon.
Do you remember Ultimo Dragon, man? That guy used to come out.
I do remember, yes.
At one time, he had like 9 mid-heavyweight belts from all across the world, like from Japan, the U.S., Mexico.
Yep.
He was like, this guy was the shit, man. He was good, Ultimo Dragon really... I remember him being one of the coolest junior heavyweights, I guess, or mid-heavyweights you want to call them back in the day. And so it's cool to know he's still out there. I haven't heard his name for a while, and I follow a lot of Japanese wrestling.
Managed by Sonny Ono.
Yeah.
It's managed by Sonny Ono, yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. It'll be for Smash Wrestling June 1st in Toronto. Hey.
Okay.
Wait a second. Aren't you in Toronto?
I am in Toronto.
Well, what are you doing June 1st, buddy? You should be down there getting a ticket and telling me what Ultimo Dragon looks like.
I should be, if I could find people that would go with me.
Well, there you go, fans. If anyone in the Toronto area, hey, and you know who he's going to be fighting? He'd be fighting Matt Cross. Do you remember Matt Cross?
I do. I've heard the name. Yes.
Now Matt Cross was in Lucha Underground in the first season. He was like, I think, Son of Havoc, and
isn't that M-Dog?
Oh, yeah, M-Dog, whatever. Yeah, that's Matt Cross, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this will be a really interesting match. It's billed as the Northern Tournament. Night 1 of the Northern Tournament, June 1st.
Wow.
So, folks, email Elio Canella if you live in Toronto and you want to go see wrestling with an expert. You want to hang out with a gentleman one time. If you're an extremely good-looking lady, hang with them even harder. The guy's a gentleman. He might even, buy you a drink or something. Anyhow, no more matchmaking for you, Elio. We got serious stuff, Elio. Why you always got to be joking around like that? All right.
TJ the Booker.
The Booker. Oh, my goodness. Anyhow, let's move in. Do you have any news? Anything you got to throw out there that you...
I went back to. I'm gonna go back to Impact for just 1 second. There was one piece of news I found before we actually went on.
Oh, what is that?
Apparently, Impact is said to not be happy with Pursuit TV, as they've been slow to respond to technical issues as seen last week when Impact did not return from an ad break, and the belief is the company wants to find a new channel for the fall of this year.
Yeah, you know what? I heard about that. They go to a commercial and then they run another hour of commercials and not the show.
That's just terrible. That's bad.
And then stuff like this, if you let's face it, I know I PVR a lot of stuff on my television. If you're trying to PVR Impact, it's almost impossible to get it right because instead of setting it up as one show, they set it up as 4 30-minute blocks. So unless you tape all 4 blocks, you're not going to get the show. And
that's another thing they failed to keep mentioning on their weekly schedule. They failed to keep mentioning that it's divided into 4 30-minute blocks.
Yeah, this is weak. As much as we may poke fun at Impact, this is kind of bull that they have to put up with this kind of crap.
Yep.
And
then
what has Pursuit really got? I mean, come on, guys, get your heads out your asses. I mean, what else are you showing here?
And then one piece of AEW news. Now we've talked about all these signings,
Yeah.
Jerry Lynn, etc. Earl Hebner is now signed with AEW.
Isn't it that sad that we're even talking about referees being signed? I mean, come on. I talked about the ROH referee going over there.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? Let's just go straight into AEW right now.
Let's go straight to AEW because that's all news I have actually.
Yeah, okay. Let's go in there. Let's get it over with. It's been bombarded. You know what? Part of me is, as excited as I've been about this, now I'm starting to get the point. It's like I'm getting sick of hearing AEW.
Yep, same. That's why I've said it from the beginning. I'm looking forward to this just so I don't have to hear about it anymore.
And talk about throwing a wet blanket on this event, announcing that it's like $50 to buy this pay-per-view. This is American money.
$50, geez.
That's steep. That's how many months of the WWE Network. I mean, come on. I don't know. For that same price, you could get 5 months of New Japan, and that's a hell of a lot more wrestling. Yeah, that is steep and a little crazy. Yeah, it's cool that they got a television, deal coming up, and hopefully that works. But, man, $50 is pretty steep. But
it is pretty steep. I just did the conversion. That's 67 Canadian.
Oh my lord! You know how much money? Oh my lord! Okay, I don't even know what to say. I'm flabbergasted. This day and age, this is like Impact still trying to charge $40 for their pay-per-views. I mean, who are they kidding? Nobody's going to spend that kind of money today. It's not that it's that much money in the overall scope of things, but with with $50 American. And the kind of things you could buy for entertainment value, why would you blow it all on a wrestling show? That you're not even there. Maybe if you were going to it. And that's another thing, Elio. I almost had a chance to go to this show. My friends, I had some friends who bought tickets. They're going down this weekend to go check out the show. They wanted to know if they had an extra ticket. They wanted to know if I wanted to join them. Would have had to fly down there, get a hotel room for a couple days in Vegas. You could tell my wife had a big old no for that one.
Actually, speaking of this pay-per-view, there was one match that was supposed to be on here that was taken off. It took place earlier today.
Oh, which match was that?
It was Pac versus Adam Page.
Yeah, now I've heard a lot about this one. You know what? First of all, let's explain. I want you to go over the pay-per-view points game rules with the people. Tell them what they have to do to be a part of this. And let's go over the rules, and then we're going to go over the matches. Okay,
so first of all, you have to go to the Facebook page that's Wrestling POV Podcast. Like that page, share this page out with this points game on, and that's how you get in. Then you go to the page itself, you put in your picks, put in your points, and that's how you play. And then Sunday night, we total up the points, and the winner gets a $50 Amazon gift card.
Now, folks, I want you to understand that when we say it's not just as simple as Elio's making it sound right here. Yes, you have to pick, and we're going to go over this. We're going to go over the our sheet.
The cliff notes.
Yeah. But what's going to happen is you'll see beside each pick there is an allotted a number of points that you can bid. Now, if it says it's worth 3 points, you can bid anywhere from 1 to 3 points. The problem here comes is if you're wrong. Every time that you're wrong and any amount of points that you bid become minus points towards your tally. So in the end, I mean, I noticed because it was so unpredictable, the Money in the Bank one this week, over at the other show, that most of the people who played had minus points.
Don't get knocked down to the bottom like I did.
Yeah. But hey, at least you didn't turn out to be a turd this week, so.
This is true.
So, folks, we're going to go over now the card, and as it looks right now, I mean, who knows, it may change in a day. It is AEW. Who knows what the hell's going on. We're going to go over some of the, well, you know what? I have in front of me the points game, double or nothing thing. Let's go over some of this, and we'll talk about how much the points are worth, and we may give a pick. You know what? We're not going to pick. We're just going to talk about the wrestlers and what kind of match we're looking at, okay?
Okay.
Now I'm going to start off with Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian. It's worth 5 points. 3 points for pin. Okay, so you can bid 5 points on this.
If you pick no contest, you can't pick a winner.
Right. Now, you can also get an additional points by guessing how it's going to be a pin, submission, whatever. It's on there. Now,
Yep.
the only thing when I look at this match, I know Sammy Guevara very well from MLW. Who the hell is Kip Sabian? I have no idea.
This is my first time seeing that name.
Yeah. This is going to be a tough one to pick. I mean, really? I don't know who he is. But you know what? He obviously knows somebody to get on this card. So let's see. Somebody will have the no in that one. Now, they're calling it the Casino Battle Royale. It used to be what were they calling it before? Over the Budget Battle Royal?
Over the Budget Battle Royal?
Yeah, now it's called the Casino Battle Royal. And this one will be tough because it's, okay, Sonny Kiss. Yeah, I never heard of him.
Don't know.
Brandon Cutler. Never heard of him. You heard of him?
I heard, the name sounds familiar. No, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Okay. Ace Romero. Okay, we know him.
Yep, definitely.
Brian Pillman Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Glacier? That's kind of funny.
Ray Lloyd, Glacier. Wow. Okay.
Sunny Days. That sounds like a girl. Okay.
Nope.
It's not?
MJF.
Joey Janela. I don't know who Dustin Thomas is. Billy Gunn. Oh, my Lord. Jimmy Havoc. Boo. Michael Nakazawa. No clue. Jungle Boy. I've heard of him.
Jungle Boy. That's Luke Perry's son.
Yeah. Luchasaurus. Get a kick out of that guy. He's pretty hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Private Party. No idea. And somebody called TBA. No, that actually means to be announced. So that's going to be a really tough one to try and pick who you think's going to win. So obviously it's going to be one of these guys because they're not going to pick a last-minute nobody to win. So, ooh.
Man, so far, that's two matches that are really hard to pick any people.
Well, this would be a good time for somebody like Luchasaurus, maybe.
Maybe.
Ace Romero's big, but he has shown at Battle Bowl that being big and fat doesn't really mean a lot. That's a tough one, man. I'm definitely not picking Billy Gunn. And I don't want Jimmy Havoc to win because we know how I feel about Jimmy Havoc.
Yep, he's in the book.
Yeah. So that'll be a tough one, folks. And that's worth 10 points if you want. Up to 10 points. Okay. Then we have
10 points.
Are you ready for this one? Aja Kong. Yoka Sasaki and Emi Sakura versus Hikaru Shida, Riho Abe, and Ryo Mizunami. Dude, I don't know. I think I know who Emi Sakura is. I've seen her. Oh, I don't know.
The only one I recognize is Aja Kong.
You know Aja Kong?
She made a one-time appearance in the Survivor Series '95.
Oh, okay. Well, that means she's old. Holy crap, 95? Well, Emi Sakura is not exactly a young chicken either. This is another tough one. It's worth 5 points possible.
5 points.
Plus 3 points guessing the win. So, okay. Angelico and Jack Evans versus the Best Friends. Okay, finally some guys I know.
Yeah.
This is worth 5 points, up to 5 points and 3 points up for the pin or submission or whatever. Interesting. This is a really interesting matchup for me because Angelico and Jack Evans, they're definitely lucha high flying all over the place top stuff. Best Friends are a little more grounded. I mean, Trent Beretta and Chucky T can do some of that stuff, but most of their matches are a lot more ground and pound. So I'm finding that a really interesting pick. I'm leaning right now, and this could change tomorrow. I'm leaning towards Best Friends.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards them as well.
All right. Next. This is funny, but she lists herself as Dr. Britt Baker.
Oh, my God.
Nyla Rose and Kylie Ray. Now, I only know who Britt Baker is. I have no idea who Nyla Rose or... What was the other girl's name? Sorry?
Kylie Ray.
Yeah, I don't know who this
I know who Kaylee Ray is.
I have no idea.
No, I said I know who Kaylee Ray is.
Who's Kaylee Ray?
That one on NXT UK.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about a brain fart, eh? Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say Britt Baker just because I don't know who the other two girls are.
Yeah, I'm going to say Britt Baker. Yeah.
All right. Next we have SCU.
Oh, SCU.
SoCal Uncensored. Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky. had Frankie Kazarian on our show a little while back.
We did. Yes, we did.
Taking on Seema, T-Hawk, and Lindman. I got to tell
Never
you.
heard of him. I only know who Seema is.
Yeah, I know who Seema is. I have no idea who his partners are.
So SCU.
Yeah, I'm thinking this one's got to be SCU.
Yep.
Now, here's an interesting one. Cody versus Dustin Rhodes. Brothers against brother. And then brother.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to be out on a limb and say this is Dustin Rhodes is going to win this. I think this is his last hurrah. I think he takes it over Cody. I could be totally wrong, though.
Okay.
Well, you look like you're thinking hard here. Are you going to give anything, or are you just going to hold this one in?
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Cody.
Ooh, fair enough. All right, AAA World Tag Team Championship. The Young Bucks putting up their belts against Pentagon Junior and Phoenix, the Lucha Brothers. So we've got the what do they call themselves? The Super Kick Party Brothers against the
Super
Lucha
Kick
Brothers.
Party. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to let you go first. How are you seeing this one?
I'm gonna go with Pentagon Junior and Phoenix.
Damn it! I was going to go with them. Okay, then I'll go Young Bucks. What the hell? I was going to go with the Lucha Brothers too, but no. You know what? No. I'm going to go with the Lucha Brothers because it is for the AAA World Tag Team Championship.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't think the Young Bucks are going to be too interested in defending that belt too much longer.
Yeah.
And in the main event,
this one's gonna be a hard one.
Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho. For me, this is easy. It's Kenny all the way. I've been a Kenny supporter from day one. I say, old man Jericho, it's about time you get the rock star kicked out of you.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I am gonna go with Kenny because I think Jericho won their first one. No, I'm gonna give it to Kenny this time.
All right.
Omega, Alpha Omega 2.
Alpha Omega 2. Yeah.
That's what they're calling it.
Yeah, because of the first one. Yeah. Okay, folks. Well, there it is. You know what? Join us along. This is our first, our first. You know, I always stumble saying it. Pay-per-view points game.
Points game.
This is our first one, and we just love you all to support it out. Show us. I know some of these picks are going to be hard. Some of you people are super into some of these territories. You'll recognize some of these people more than we've been able to say, and maybe you'll know some stuff that we don't.
And if you do, please inform us of them.
Yes, please do.
Jeez.
And if anybody can tell me who the hell Kip Sabian is, please send me that information. I want to be in the know. All right, you know what? Let's head over to New Japan. We are still. All
right.
We're going into day 712. No, we're up to day 6 so far. Now we covered the first 2 days. I'm going to go quickly over the results, and then we'll talk a bit. If something pops out that I saw that was really cool, I'll mention it. Okay.
Okay.
So night 3, we had Gresham defeating Taka, which was actually a very good match. Gresham really, he's kind of suited for this kind of tournament. I liked it. Tiger Mask defeating Kanemaru. That was kind of, Tiger Mask has no chance. Okay, the guy's like 86 years old.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Shingo defeating Titan. Titan really had no chance. I mean, Shingo, man, he is looking... I'm going to have to say Shingo right now is definitely one of my 2 top picks to take this whole thing.
Yep. I like Shingo.
I think he's definitely going to make it to the finals in Block A. Ishimori defeating Marty Scurll. Not a very good match. Ishimori not looking like the dominant Bone Soldier we're used to.
Oh.
Dragon Lee versus Show. A lot of people have been hard on Dragon Lee. He has not looked so great this tournament either. Night 4, Block B. Robbie Eagles defeating Ren Narita. Well, that's kind of a given. Ren Narita will be lucky if he wins one match. He's
one of those like young lions.
Yeah,
right?
young lions rarely win a match during these tournaments.
Okay.
Yo defeating Bandito, which kind of surprised me. El Phantasmo defeating Bushi. This is the second match where El Phantasmo. Now, you guys know I love this guy. I still think he's probably going to be the final in Block B. Once again, resorting to pulling a mask over he did it to El Bandito in the round 1. Round 2 here, meeting Bushi, he once again screws with the mask to get the win. Now here's a match I think, Elio, you should go back and take a look at. Okay. Will Ospreay defeating Rocky Romero. Really good match.
Okay.
Main event had Taguchi versus Dookie. Now, this was interesting because Taguchi, he is He's undefeated so far in his block, and he's not doing his goofy coach crap. He's wrestling.
Oh.
He's wrestling really well. Dookie was a good match because I like the drama at the end where Tai Chi was going to try and interfere, and he threw a chair in there, and Taguchi got so mad he slammed Dookie face first into the chair.
Oh.
And then when he put the ankle lock on him, they had to break it off him. He was like trying to break Dookie's leg. He was mad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Taguchi was ticked off. And it was nice to see that fire in him. Night 5 had Sho defeating Taka. Well, I guess we could expect that. Sho was definitely one of the best up-and-coming guys there. Marty Skrull defeating Tiger Mask. Ishimori defeating Titan. Dragon Lee getting a win over Gresham, which I was surprised. Gresham has been pretty hot in this tournament. Dragon Lee looked better this night than he had the first 2 nights. And then Shingo, once again, like a freaking tank, destroying Kanemura.
Wow.
Night 6 had Rocky Romero defeating Ren Narita. Bandito defeating Dookie. El Phantasmo taking on his Bullet Club compadre Robbie Eagles. And man, El Phantasmo is being a douchebag. Even to his... he did every douchey thing you could imagine, including pretending to go for the too sweet and then kicking Eagles in the stomach, doing all sorts of stuff like that. It, in the end, grabs Robbie Eagles' headband, puts it over his face to manage to help score the win.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Then we had Will Ospreay defeat Yo. And this is funny because I told you there was 2 matches I wanted you to take a look at. The second one was definitely a night 6. Will Ospreay defeating Yo was in a really good match. Probably the best match I've ever seen Yo
I'm sorry,
do.
what was the other one? Will Ospreay and who
Rocky,
was that? The other one?
Rocky Romero.
Yeah, what night was that?
That was night 4.
Night 4, okay.
And then on night 6, Will Ospreay defeating Yo.
Night 4, night 6, okay.
And then the main event that night, Taguchi defeating Bushi. So yeah, Taguchi's definitely on a roll. I think though right now the guys who are looking the best, Shingo is looking amazing. I mean, he is scary. He's like a tank. He's going in there and he's just destroying guys. In Block B, in Block A, I definitely say Shingo's the man to watch out for. Gresham could be a sleeper. He could be a guy who sneaks in and gets something there. And don't forget Sho. Sho's one of the guys that's definitely looking very strong. In Block B, El Phantasmo, showing that you can cheat your way to the top, is doing really well. But also keep an eye on Will Ospreay, who's looking very strong. And just because you got to love the guy. Well, Taguchi looking very strong, but I don't know how long he can hold that. But I also say keep Rocky Romero on the radar. He hasn't done a tournament in a while. He hasn't been wrestling full-time in a while. And it's like he's out there with a vengeance right now. It's like he's got something to prove. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, folks, the tournament will still be going on. Next week we'll go over even further as the nights go on. But before we get into our regular 4 shows and get into our book, I think it's time we took a little bit of a break.
Actually, before we do, I have a question about the NJPW.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
I found the entire schedule for all the days, and they have all the matches lined up. Do they have those matches? Do they know those matches ahead of time?
Dude, it's a round robin tournament.
Okay.
What that means is everybody in Block A fights each other once. So it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It doesn't matter if you've not won one thing. Ren Narita is going to fight everybody at least once. El Phantasmo is going to fight everybody in his block at least once. It's a round-robin tournament. Yeah, so those are the scheduled matches. It doesn't matter what their standings are. It doesn't matter if,
I was just wondering because, that's cool. I already know what matches they're going to have on what day.
Oh, yeah. Those matches will all be the same. That won't change.
Cool.
So, yeah. Right. So sometimes you may see, Shingo versus Will Ospreay. Whoa. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can target ahead which matches there are. Yeah. So, and it'll be like that for the G1. The only thing they won't know is, of course, who the winner of A takes on the winner of B in the finals. Because that'll be tabulated after all of the schedule for A and B is done, and then whoever has the most points, each guy will go on to fight each other for the final. And this will be determined the number 1 contender for the for Dragon Lee, who's the current champion, for the junior heavyweight belt. So now here's one interesting.
Okay.
One thing I always bring up is if the champion gets pinned during a tournament. Now, Dragon Lee lost to Jonathan Gresham the first night, which means that Jonathan Gresham gets a title shot, automatic, coming up after the tournament's over. If Dragon Lee loses any more matches, he has to put his title up against each of those guys.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's something to keep on the lookout for, too. All right. So, fans, we're going to take a little bit of a siesta here. We will be back shortly.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle. Listen to the Wrestling POV podcast. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
I don't know about you, Elio, but I'm feeling refreshed.
Yep, I'm feeling refreshed.
Well, you know what? It's the time of the show now where we cover our regular 4 shows. Now, sometimes there's been times where there's slower things going on and the 4 shows get broken up into 2 segments. But, man, with AEW and with All Japan, or with New Japan going on with so much stuff,
Yep.
we're going to try and we're going to slug our way through these 4 shows. We're going to give them a grade and see who had the best show this week.
All right, and so I guess we're going to kick off with ROH.
That we are. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, so ROH had their 400th episode this week, and we had total of 2 matches on the card. We had Villain Enterprises defending their 6-man tag team championships against Jay Lethal, Jeff Cobb, and Roosh. And Villain Enterprise retaining their championships in this one.
Interesting matchup.
Yep.
Thought Jeff Cobb looked really good here. Looked really strong.
He did look really good. Oh my god, that moonsault! Every time he does a moonsault, it's like, geez.
Such a big man to do that. Roosh, I don't want to sound like I'm punny, but it's like he was really rushing through things a lot. It seemed like, he seemed a little bit in a hurry. Yeah. And I don't mean that as a joke. I mean, he just really seemed a very explosive pace.
When he came out, he had that mask on. I'm like, oh no, not like Yarrow. He didn't borrow from like Yarrow, did he?
No, he started off as a masked wrestler too at one time. So he just I saw the horns. I saw the horns. Yeah.
Like, oh no.
I forgot who was the third guy. Was it Jay Lethal?
It was Jay Lethal, yeah. Jeff Cobb, and Roosh.
It was Lethal looked good too. They kind of pounded home that he's the definitive ROH champion. So at least they're not done with him. Mm-hmm. So Villain Enterprises look good. PCO crazy as ever.
Oh my god, PCO is just every time that guy is in the ring, it's like I just sit there and just watch.
And Brody King, man, that guy's massive. It's scary how big he is.
Yep.
And as for Marty Scurll, good wrestler, but I get really annoyed with the finger thing. There's no way I'm letting anyone grab my fingers like that. You grab my fingers, I'm going to kick you right in the balls. Simple as that.
And now we had Kenny King on commentary. He miraculously regained his eyesight and attacked the Lethal after the match.
Yeah, Kenny. Oh, Kenny King. You're so pathetic you don't even get in the book. That's all I'm going to say.
And the main event had Matt Taven defending the ROH Championship against Flip Gordon. Matt Taven retaining the championship, defeating Flip Gordon.
Now, I like Matt Taven. I enjoyed his wrestling.
Yep.
I really thought the ending was dumb. Like Flip Gordon just like gets all distracted because like a bunch of red balloons come flying up from the thing. And I don't know. I think it just kind of... I hate the fact that Matt Taven's a great wrestler who... They kind of cheapen his wins by doing dumb stuff like this.
Yeah.
I want to see him wrestle more. Like I want to really see him wrestle, and I don't know. It just and Flip Gordon's okay. I mean, I still don't buy him as a contender for the heavyweight title though. I mean,
yeah, I'm not sure how that happened. He's like the number 1 contender.
Well, for this match, I think he won that stupid thing, wasn't it, on the cruise ship, Jericho's cruise thing?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, yep.
So, I don't think we'll see, for a while anyways, Flip Gordon back up at the top of the things for a little bit. I think this is a one-off for now.
Okay.
Now, I would give this show this week, the wrestling was good, but I'm only going to give it a B- for the simple reason it was supposed to be the 400th show, and there was nothing special about it.
It was a tweet happy episode. Like there were a lot of like tweets and messages.
Yeah, but I mean
about memories of ROH.
But I mean, is it? Do you tune into a television show to read tweets about it?
No,
I mean-
I expected there to be like at least like more than just 2 matches or like something
Yeah.
more to the show.
Yeah, it really seemed for a 400th episode, it was pretty lacking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm giving it B minus. What are you going to give it this week?
I'm gonna go with a B minus. It really didn't do much for me.
Okay. Well, let's move on. We'll head over to Scotland for WWE NXT UK.
Scotland. Usually we're in England. It doesn't sound odd saying we're headed to Scotland.
Yeah, we're headed to Glasgow, Scotland. Okay, so first match, Piper Niven just beating the smack out of some girl named Jamie Hayter. I mean,
Oh my god.
you see that headbutt she gave her in the match? Oh
and
my Lord.
then she just hit the cannonball Michinoku driver and that was it.
Yeah. That headbutt, it surprises me to even ever see a woman do a headbutt, but man, that was like Shibata style headbutt. She just cracked that chick in the face.
Oh man. Yup.
Obviously, Piper Niven is on the rise. It looks like they really want to do something with her in the future. They had a press conference with Tony Storm. And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, you know what? Tony Storm's a great wrestler, but this was a terrible, I don't know. The champion, this is personal now. What, it wasn't personal before?
We're going to get to see Nina Samuels and Tony Storm.
I hate it when the champions make it personal. I mean, it should be personal every time. It's your goddamn belt. Why isn't it personal? Okay, so Tony Storm looking a little bit like a dummy. Then this really dumb thing where like they had the assistant general manager walking in talking about this tournament and Cassius Ono walking in and acting like a complete toolbox. Hey, how's it doing? So how you doing, buddy? Blah, blah, blah. Why aren't you in the thing? And it just, well, maybe Cassius Ono, because you've only had one match in the entire company. Maybe that's why you're not in the thing, you dumb.
No.
Okay, so anyways, he heads off. Then, your favorite masked wrestler, Ligero,
I'm sure it was shaking.
taking on Jordan Devlin for a qualifying match. Actually, a very solid match. I kind of enjoyed Jordan Devlin, even though he's kind of a bit of a despicable heel. He's a solid wrestler.
Yeah, but if they're that despicable heel that makes you hate them, they're doing their job.
They're doing their job.
Like, he's definitely doing their job because we really hate him.
So Jordan Devlin taking the win, definitely going on to the next one. They had some video package with Walter, blah, blah, blah.
Mustache Mountain promo.
Yeah. Okay, then Ilya, I'm saying his name right? Ilya Dragunov.
Ilya Dragunov.
I'm not sure what to think because, man, okay, you had to know when Jack Stars came out that he was going to get his ass kicked because it seems like whenever they bring out Jack Stars, he gets his ass beat.
I'm serious. Like, we've seen this guy like only like a few times. Every time he gets like destroyed.
Yeah. Now this Dragunov guy, exciting. You know, I was expecting a heavyweight. I guess he's a light heavyweight. He was fun, but light heavyweights don't exactly have the biggest up mobile, futures ahead of them. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. He seems brutal and brutal.
But what'd you think of his debut though?
I guess I expected a little bit more than a guy just running around clotheslining the crap out of people.
I mean, I wasn't too impressed with this guy in this debut match.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Like,
he didn't show a lot for a good debut.
No, it was like too intense. Like clothesline in the corner.
Yeah.
See.
There was some nonsense with Noam Dar and Mark Andrews backstage, yada yada. Okay, not really a match, more of like kind of a thing. Killer Kelly taking on Zaya Brookside.
Your favorite.
You know what? Zaya Brookside just makes me laugh. I just don't get her. Okay. But you know who I do get is I get Jazzy Gabbert, who used to be known as the alpha female back in the day.
You know what? I'm sorry. I have to say, this is the first time I didn't have a problem seeing Jenny because she introduced Jazzy Gabbert.
Yeah. And this girl is big and mean and tough. As for Ginny, well, your time is come and gone, Ginny. Just like Nina Samuels will be gone, you guys will be in the bottom of the Barbie junk pile next week. This ends up being a no contest because she breaks up the match. Lays out Zia. Is that her name? Zia? Whatever. I don't even know how you pronounce that. Zaya. Yeah. How did an X become a Z? Oh, well. Must be an American thing. Then we go down to the last match. Oh, my God. I could not care less for a main event like this. But Dave boring is
terrible.
Yeah. Dave boring is crap. 5'4" Mastiff versus Wolfgang. Man, you're making Scottish wrestlers look bad. Mastiff gets the win. Gets jumped by Gallus. Man, Gallus just makes me want to snooze.
No, not a good match.
No, you know what? Today's episode, I'm gonna give it a C, man. It was a debut that let me down.
I'm gonna give it a C.
You're gonna give it a C?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna give it a C too, because it's like we had a women's match that didn't go anywhere, a women's match that was a squash. We had a squash debut that wasn't that impressive, and boring old Mastiff versus Wolfgang was the main event. Ugh. Yeah, definitely a C this week, man. Why don't you try and pick my spirits up and head over to Impact, and let's I'm not going to get my spirits picked up, am I?
Impact Wrestling. We started out with the Knockouts Battle Royal.
Oh God!
In this one we had Jordan Grace, Madison Rayne, Kiera Hogan, Scarlett Bordeaux, Tessa Blanchard, Alicia Edwards, Carissa Rivera, Solo Darling, Tasha Steeles, and Ashley Fox. And to start, Glenn Gilbert, he makes his way out and starts insulting women's wrestling, putting it down. Then he makes his way to commentary. And the end, we see Tessa Blanchard on the apron, and Glenn Gilbert gets up from his position at commentary, pulls her off the apron and eliminates her, and then says that he was in the match when the bell rang. So he eliminated Tessa Blanchard to win the Battle Royal.
Just stupid crap. I mean, seriously, he just happened to be why didn't the person buying beer? He walked by. He was in the match. Why didn't he jump in and win? Like, come on.
Like he comes out and is on commentary. He says, "Oh, I'm in the match. I win." Okay.
Garbage.
Then we have footage of a parking lot brawl between Michael Elgin and Willie Mack from last week.
Talk about two guys with no charisma.
Yeah. And Rich Swann confronts Elgin, and then they get into a brawl. The second match was the Demon Collar match. I'm still waiting for the Linda Blair on a pole match.
Oh, brother.
We had Rosemary defeating Sue Young.
And do you know what this
means?
With
a modified F5.
And do you know what this means, right? This win.
Continues.
Do you know what this win means, right?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing, because they'll just have this crap next week again and some other garbage.
No, because the ending, Rosemary grabbed Sue Young, was still tied to the chain, and took her as her prisoner.
Oh, brother.
Yay. Then next week, Madison Rayne gets a Knockouts Championship match.
It's about time.
Madman Fulton defeated Randy Shawn, never heard of.
Of course, you knew it was a squash soon as it was a guy you never heard of coming out.
Yeah. And update on Brian Cage with a very serious spinal injury, and return date is unknown.
Okay.
Killer Crofts defeating Eddie Edwards, and at the end he ties Edwards to the ropes, and instead of hitting him, he breaks the kendo sticks.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel dumber that we even talk about this.
Then they show the Rascals training for their tag team championships.
Oh brother.
Match against LAX. And the main event, it was Rich Swann defeating Michael Elgin by disqualification. Well, what is going on?
Man, I'm gonna give this one a C minus. Almost a D. Nah, let's go D. It's a D.
That Demon Collar match brought it down to a D.
Oh, Michael Elgin has he sucks the life out of anything. He's terrible. Ugh. And Rich Swann. Now this is where
absolute worst.
And this is where this is what always confuses me. Is we talk every week about Impact. Now we're going to talk about MLW, which has Rich Swann being a totally different person.
Right. Very confusing. Hanging out with Myron Reed.
Yeah. Oh my God, Myron Reed. Okay. Yeah, I'm giving it a D this week. Sorry, Impact.
Okay.
You're half a flush up from the toilet. What are you giving it?
Yeah, I'm going with a D. That really that's everything about it sucked. The Michael Elgin just.
Yeah, and now they're pushing him. Like, you're really going to scrape the bottom of the barrel if you're going to make frickin' Michael Elgin a contender. I mean, come on. No other company in the world wants this guy. All right, let's get into MLW.
All right, MLW. Here we go.
Okay, we're in New York City. We take a look at Sami Callihan and Mance Warner talking about their upcoming match, which was kind of strange because Sami's sitting in a bobcat for some reason.
What is going on here? I was literally saying that when I was watching the segment. I'm like, what is going on here? Mance Warner and Sami Callihan.
Yeah, okay. It gets into the match first one. Hio D. Los Angeles Park and Ricky Martinez taking on Sami Callihan and Mance Warner. Mance Warner and Sami Callihan getting the victory. It wasn't that, you know what? These kind of matches, they remind me of some of the stuff that used to be in ECW, where it's like, is there even a match going on? Like, there's just guys walking around brawling. There's no semblance of an actual match.
Yeah.
So you don't. It kind of takes you out of it sometimes.
Yep.
You know, I think this it sounded like it could have been a fun match. Callahan and Warren are teaming up. And instead, it was just a lot of brawling that wasn't that great. Mance was wasted here. You know, he didn't have that great of a showing because how could he? You know, and in the end, it turns out this is basically just kind of an angle setup so that they would brawl backstage, and then Los Angeles Park would jump out and beat them with, like, what was it, a frying pan or something? A pot or something, and beat these guys.
Okay, can I say how ridiculous does Elio the LA Park look? Green and red.
I know, he looks like
he looks like a Christmas tree.
He looks like an elf. He's a Christmas elf, a skinny little Christmas elf. He looks so silly in what he wears. It really does. Okay, they had a promo. Austin Aries is coming to MLW. That should be interesting. They talked about Tom Lawler defending his belt against Avalanche, and they showed a little bit about Avalanche. Got to tell you, was not too impressed. Avalanche just looked like another fat guy. Next, they had you know what? I really like this next match. Minoru Tanaka defeating Daga. They had a hell of a good match. This was really good. And I love the pin. The way Tanaka kind of rolled his legs up sort of in this position where he couldn't really get out of whatsoever. It was good. It was good to see Daga finally, you know, like, since we've come on, all we've seen is him get bloodied and then not much. So it's kind of good to see him get in there and see what he's really about. And, and I like that they established him as a really good wrestler. Really good match. Tanaka, definitely a highlight. I know he's only in the U.S. for a little bit, so it was pretty cool to see him. Pretty good match. They talked about the Von Erichs will be making their debut at Fury Road. MJF came out and he was blabbing about the Von Erichs and blabbing about Heart Foundation and yada yada. This made me sad. We find out that Teddy Hart's going to be putting his belt up against Jimmy Havoc. Ugh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, Jimmy Havoc.
And in the match of who has the most ridiculous looking wrestling body, Myron Reed will be taking on Gringo Loco.
Oh no.
And then we find out there'll be the finals, of course. We talked about I guess we should probably get into the last match before we talk about the finals. Then we had a little piece with Tom Lawler, who's, you know, as a world champion, man, he doesn't have a lot of charisma, does he? His interview wasn't the greatest.
He's kind of boring.
Kinda? He was absolutely boring.
He is boring.
All right. We see that they had a poll, and they asked people who they wanted Tom Lawler to fight next. And how's that for a cool pick? Davey Boy Smith Jr. is what the fans picked. I like that.
Interesting. Okay.
And here you got, like, Tom Lawler's a former what do you call those? A UFC type guy? MMA guy. And Davey Boy Smith has competed in MMA too. So interesting matchup. So Myron Reed comes out, talks about referees. You can't trust them. That's the whole stupid crap that they got him and Rich Swann put tape over their mouths. So Rich Swann comes out, fight Brian Pillman Jr. This will be for who will go into the next round to face Hammerstone. Interesting match. Pillman actually doing a lot better than I've seen him in a while. He actually had some really good stuff. There's a few times he looked a little awkward in there. There's a few times definitely it looked like they didn't know what each other was going to do, and they kind of like bumped into each other and tried to work around it. But in the end, Pillman takes the win with kind of a quick roll up with the O'Connor roll, and so I guess it would be Hammerstone versus Brian Pillman Jr. and be interesting. Now I'm going to give today's episode. I'm going to give it a B. Okay, it wasn't great, but it had some funny stuff.
Yeah.
It was shot well, and the wrestling, there was a few good matches in there. That Tanaka match was really, really good. The Pillman match, Switch Salon was okay, and I was a little disappointed. I mean, it would have done better, except I was really looking forward to seeing Mance and Sammy team up, and it really wasn't much of anything except an angle. So I'm going to give it a B this week.
Okay, wait. What's going on when we're saying we were looking forward to Sammy Callahan and Vince Warner?
No, I only say that in the sense of not that I'm a Sammy Callahan fan. I just thought it would be interesting.
No, I'm saying
it would just be interesting to see the two of them. How would they interact? And you know what? There was some funny parts that I was wondering what was going to happen, because I don't know if you noticed, but there was a few times where like Mance was getting beat, and Jim Cornette was like, "Oh, Sammy Callahan decides once in his life to obey the rules. Why isn't he going in there helping Mance out?" And it was funny because the other guys were like double teaming Mance and beating the crap out of them. Sammy's sitting there like a good boy, waiting for the tag in, and that was a good point by Cornette. But it makes you wonder why they were pushing that. My prediction is Callahan will just turn on Warner soon. That it'll be all a big setup by promotion, whatever the hell they're called.
Promociones Dorado.
Right, and so my prediction is that Sammy Callahan is a sleeper agent, and that eventually he's going to turn on Mance with the blessings of Selena Dill. It was all revenge for spilled beer. Wow, can I just say that?
Revenge for spilled beer.
Yeah, revenge on a spilled beer. Now, what would you give today's show, my friend? I gave it a B.
I'm gonna go with a B as well. Like I said, some matches were okay, but Rich Swann match. Well, the Minoru Tanaka was good.
Well, you know what, fans? This is like the fourth week in a row now that MLW has actually had the show we've picked over the other three. So good on MLW, the little dog struggling along to make its way. Now,
Impact just struggles every week.
Impact is like treading water.
We try hard to find some good in there, but it's really hard to do that.
It really is. Sometimes, for every good Killer Cross match, you're bombarded with Rosemary and Su Yung.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I want so badly for Impact to succeed, but basically they're treading water in the toilet bowl. I mean, they're that last flush you hear before that goes down the bowl. That's where they're at right now, and I really hope they can pull this off. Like they've got some great wrestlers in there, and they're just not using them the best way possible, I think.
Yeah.
So now I know a lot of fans enjoy this next part. Are you ready to open that book, brother?
I'm ready. I have the book open right here.
All right, folks. The Book of Shame. Well, it should be pretty self-explanatory. If you make us cringe, if you make us go, if you make us enraged, if we watch you and think you're an absolute idiot stick turd ball like Sammy Callahan, or I guess more like Tommy Dreamer, you will end up in the Book of Shame. So please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Speaking of Tommy Dreamer, by the way, I read that there's a match, I believe, next week. Tommy Dreamer and RVD. How about that one?
Really? We got through this entire show where we finally got to just get to the part where we mocked Tommy Dreamer and you had to bring him up. The sound of my voice. That's what the sound of silent vomiting is.
Let's get into the book.
Let's get into the book before I throw up.
Okay, our first entry is Ace Austin.
I haven't seen him in a week, so that's lessened my hate for him. I say let's pull him out this week. Let's pull him out.
Okay, we'll pull him out. Ace Austin, you're free to go.
You're free to go. If you screw up and act like a little juvenile punk with a magician kit, you're back in.
Next one up is El Hijo de Los Angeles Park.
Oh my lord. You look so ridiculous. You deserve to be in this book, brother. Do you ever look in the mirror what you're wearing? Seriously, come on, man.
Like father, like son.
Oh, brother. He stays.
Next, we have Facade.
Yeah, Facade, you you make me laugh so much.
And you read that piece of information I sent you.
Yes. Just when you thought he could be more,
okay.
just when you thought he could be more ridiculous, he sent me that. Okay.
But actually, speaking of him, I did find a match on YouTube of Facade versus AJ Styles.
Oh my God, how old is that match?
That must be old because I had never heard that one before.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Okay, next one up is that word that begins with F.
Oh, stays in. I hate that word. I did not hear it this week. Thank God.
Jimmy Havoc.
Yuck. Not liking what you do, brother. You're stuck in the book.
Madman Fulton.
Yeah, what a joke. You're stuck in the book.
Miguel Cole.
Oh, Miguel Cole, you're getting a lifetime subscription to the Book of Shame.
Hey, alert.
Yeah, you are. Ooh, you little puppet.
Nigel McGuinness.
Oh, Nigel, I've learned to hate you now, man. You just said enough things that I can't look at you like I used to. I used to like your wrestling. I used to have some respect for you. You are like, who's that chick on Raw who talks? Renee Young. Yeah, you're the Renee Young of NXT UK, man. You suck that hard. You stay.
Next up is Rich Swann.
Rich Swann, you confuse me. You know what? I put you in there to show you an example for being gross and eating spit and stuff. Like, I'm gonna let it slide because you know what? This week you just confused me. This week you were defending your buddy one show, you were being a total jerk the other show. So I'm gonna let you out, and we'll see where you go from here, brother.
All right, enjoy your freedom, Rich Swann. Sammy Callahan.
Oh, come on, Sammy. Even hanging out with Mance, you're not even cool. So yeah, take your little Bobcat action, and you're book one. You're chapter one of the Book of Shame.
The Christ brothers.
You guys don't even deserve to be wrestlers, let alone in our book. But because you are, you're in the book.
I swear, you know what? I'd love to see how these guys are outside of wrestling. I really hope they're like actually nice guys. I don't know.
I have no idea.
The Hunt. They definitely stay in.
They're a joke. My lord.
And Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer, you get like you're the foreword to the book of You were an article that made the book happen. So yeah, Tommy Dreamer, you're the foreword of the book. If Sammy Callahan's chapter 1, you're the foreward.
So there we go. That's the Book of Shame for this week.
Well, you know what? I saw so much good wrestling in New Japan. I saw some good MLW wrestling this week. I'm not mad and angry enough to make anyone in this week's book. So yeah, we let a few people out. You guys better behave. We got our eyes on you, Rich Swann, Austin. The hell's his name? Austin.
Ace Austin.
Ace Austin.
Ace Austin.
Too many Austins in wrestling. Ace Austin.
I know, right?
We got our eyes on you guys. You are just one screw up from going back in. So be careful. All right, you know what? As Miguel Cole would say, I've done enough hating for this segment. We look forward to this pay-per-view this week. We're going to fill out our forms, folks. Please, this is our first one. Join us. Help us establish us as a secondary show here. You know, like we'd like to
help us get through this pay-per-view, because I swear some of these matches I've never heard of half of these guys.
Yeah, me neither. So it's going to be interesting as hell. Please, Elio, tell the people how they can get a hold of us via the old whatever computer machineries.
All right, so getting a hold of us, go to Wrestling POV Podcast on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram, Wrestling POV1, and on Twitter at Wrestling POV.
Well, there you go, folks. You know what? I want to say a special hello to all our foreign fans who are not, you know what? We love all you in North America and Canadian American fans. We love you guys. But we also want to say a special thank you to all you people in Russia, in Hong Kong, Germany, Italy, England, and all the places around the globe that have taken the time to listen to us. We're here for you guys, man. We're trying to bring a little bit of the world all together. There's some great wrestling all across the world. If you have some wrestling that you want us to check out, by all means, drop us a letter. Tell us what to look at. If it's a ton of stuff, I'll make Elio watch it. And yeah, Elio,
I'll gladly watch it.
You are a gentleman. The way you take my abuse is amazing. Well, bro, I hope you have a great week, fans.
All right.
You have a great week, and you know what? Extra special hello to all our Russian fans out there too. You guys, we love you. So we'll see you next week.
All right, we will talk to you all next week.